again, my name is Nick Kelly. I'm with USANA Health Sciences, among the many things that I do. This is one that's really, really close to my heart. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is we talk to people all the time about weight loss. I talk about brides want to be pretty. Everybody wants their back problems to go away, and they want to be better at sports and everything else. But what we want to do is we want to tie in weight loss to something that matters. And so what we're doing in January is a program that we call a Shrinkathon. I've got my reindeer helper today, which I don't usually have. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Children's Hunger Fund, which is the charity that we've chosen to support with the Shrinkathon. So what's the problem we're addressing? The problem we're addressing is obesity. And Glenn was great at doing percentages, so I'm going to throw a lot of percentages at you guys today. So the number of obese and overweight people in the U.S. and Canada is 2 out of every 3 adults, 1 out of every 3 children, and unfortunately that number in children is growing very, very quickly. In the U.S., we spend over $30 billion on diets, on stuff to lose weight. And there's a problem in the way that we address weight loss, in that we think it's a temporary thing, not a permanent thing, and I'm going to talk to you about that in just a little bit. Most people go into a diet, they say, oh, cool, I'll do this for 3 weeks, then they go back to doing what they're doing, they regain all the weight that they lost plus some, and that is a problem that's an epidemic among adults, but also look at what's happening among children. 1 out of 3 children in the U.S. is pre-diabetic. Okay? That means by the time they're 30, they're going to be fully type 2 diabetes mellitus, which means they're going to have problems like hypertension, blindness, and things like that. I don't want to be blind in my 30s. I don't think anybody else in this room does either, and I definitely don't want that for my children. So why diets don't work? Again, it's a short-term fix to a long-term problem. January 1st, you will not be able to get into the treadmill at your gym. They're going to be packed. The trainers are going to be saying, oh, you only have 20 minutes. Make sure you get off the 20. Okay, great. February 1st, no problem. You'll have every treadmill that you want. You'll have every bike. You'll have every recumbent bike. You'll have everything that you want because everybody else is going to be back eating something that was handed to them through a drive-through window. It's a problem. The second thing is we tend in America to be celebrity-focused. I was unfortunately stuck in the auto shop yesterday for 8 hours, and I got my first exposure to the show TMZ. Oh, if there's a model for human stupidity, it's TMZ. Okay, but that's it. We're celebrity obsessed. So okay, these celebrities go out and they do this and this and this. They starve themselves for X number of days. They get plastic surgery, whatever, and everybody else thinks that's what I want to do. It's not viable. It doesn't scale. It's not going to be applicable to the average Joe. The other thing is just simply knowing how to read a label. People get obsessed with I need a low-fat diet, and maybe fat's not the problem. Maybe sugar's the problem. Because and I'll talk to you about why sugar's the problem here in just a second on another slide. But how many people, just raise your hand, not you personally, but how many of you know somebody who's going to have a New Year's resolution to lose weight? Right? Yeah, that's everybody. Unless you hang around a bunch of skeletons. So what makes a Shrinkathon different? So what we do with a Shrinkathon is we create teams, and teams are for group accountability. It's very, very easy when you're 2 or 3 weeks into a new lifestyle to say, you know what, I just don't feel like going to the gym today. And there's nobody there to hold you accountable, right? There's nobody who's picking up the phone and going, what time are we meeting? Are we doing legs? Are we doing back? What are we doing this? So we want to put teams together, and we want to put like-minded people together, people who are going to get along. We don't necessarily want a drill sergeant to come in, like the guy in the Geico commercial, you jack wagon right into beat you into submission. So the other thing that we want to do is that we want to tie it into a cause that's just bigger than the number on the scale. We want this to mean something. So what we do is we get sponsors together, and they donate per pound or per inch that you lose. And then we have prizes for the individual winners. We have prizes for the individual teams that lose the most weight. But what's more important is you've raised money that goes to a good cause. Michelle mentioned my wife and I do a lot of work with children, and we have the Children's Hunger Fund as a charity that we work with, that USANA works with very, very closely. The other thing is that this is a healthy lifestyle change. This is not a diet. This is not cool, I can do this for 3 weeks. This is, I'm going to teach you the difference between what you're eating now, what you're craving now, and what your body really needs and what your body will be looking for at the end of this program. It's a 12-week program. We're going to educate you every single week with some different facet along the way. So it's different than what everybody does every year, because the person who is going to swear I'm going to lose the weight in 2011 also made that same promise in 2010, in 2009, 2008, and probably 10 more years before that. So it's permanent. It's different. So these are the steps. These are the 4 pillars. Okay? It's a little bit of an eyesore. I apologize. Number 1, exercise. I don't mean that you have to go and run a marathon and be the world's strongest man, anything. Just do something a little different than what you're doing now. Park at the end of the parking lot. Ours isn't very long. You could probably get there very, very quickly. Park at the far end of the parking lot. Take the stairs, not the elevator. Just up it by one little thing. If you're in a hotel and you're staying on the 25th floor, oh, that might be excessive, but either way, take the stairs, not the elevator. We want you to supplement, because when you make these changes to your body, when you exercise more, you're going to be releasing free radicals into your body, and you're going to need some antioxidants that are going to protect your body against the new changes that are happening inside. Okay? Also, you're going to want to get the right foods in you, not what you get from, sorry, Chris, I won't say which Chris, but no, McDonald's is not good for you. I don't care how many times you go. We're going to teach you about the low glycemic index. So when you eat high glycemic foods and you have all these carbs in your body, your blood sugar gets spiked, it's going to go to one of three places. First place it's going to go is go into the muscles to do what the muscles need to do. If you've still got leftover sugar because you've got too many calories at one time or you've got too much sugar at one time, then it's going to go into the fat cells that you have. If it runs out of fat cells, guess what? It produces more fat cells. So sugar can, in fact, be the enemy, not fat. And finally, we want you to journal. You mentioned it earlier. Tracking. Keep track of everything. What gets measured gets done. If you don't journal, you've got a 20% chance of actually succeeding at this, or at anything. We had a program that we did this last year. There were 8 people who did it. 2 people journaled. Those 2 people each lost over 20 pounds. Nobody else succeeded. So journal, okay? Those are the 4 things. Why teams? Again, it's accountability. If it's just me, I can always find an excuse and I can fail. So if I'm part of a team, I have a support system. I've got somebody that I can call or who's going to call me and call me to the carpet on this and say, you know what, dude, you said you were going to meet me at the gym, you didn't show up. What's your excuse? And don't tell me, oh, well, my feet hurt or whatever. Just don't come up with something stupid. It's a team. And again, even if it's not the person who's talking to you, think about the money that you could have the potential to raise and the difference that can make as part of this. I can, in my case, we can help starving children. That's our Children's Hunger Fund. I can get my group together, and our church can actually be built instead of us meeting Sundays in an elementary school cafeteria, right? We can make this something real and concrete and physical and make a real difference. So what I want to do right now is show you a real quick video on the Children's Hunger Fund. I'm gonna crank it as loud as I can get it. Which ain't loud, but it's not loud audio. That's the Children's Hunger Fund. That's the people that we're raising money for. So when you go out, I hope that touched you, and when you go out, I want you to think about this. Who can you ask? If it's not somebody who needs to lose weight, and there are people in this room who don't need to lose weight, would you still be willing to sponsor somebody's effort to improve their own life and to improve lives like Chloe's? Okay? So go out, think about congregations, think about unions, think about union reps, think about the coworkers that you have if you sit in a cube all day and you want to get some people together and even do something within your local organization. So just concentrate on the lives that you're touching. Think about local charities that you can help here, not just in Haiti, not just in India, not just all across the world, but even in your local community, the people that you can help through finally achieving the thing that you've told yourself that you want to do and that you can do, and we'll make it happen for you. Thank you.